Welcome to Rex Corner. Today I have Vance McDaniel, who's a friend of mine I met on Facebook, and he's with, was it Pro Fight?
Pro Fight Sports.
Pro Fight Sports with Guy Grundy?
Yes, Guy Grundy.
Yep, good guy. And we talked about coming on the show because he's made a big transformation in his life. He's a good guy. He knows how to talk about a lot of interesting stuff, and he's in great shape. And I thought this would be perfect to sit down and talk like two guys about training and what we do and how our lives roll, right?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Doesn't sound good?
Yeah, sounds awesome.
What got you interested in working out?
Well, let's see. When I got out of the military, I was stationed in California, Southern California, in Orange County, and
the war zone.
Yeah, it's just crazy down there, man. They need the military down there in Orange County. But so I used to come up to LA to visit relatives.
Yeah.
And I didn't know nothing about bodybuilding. But this is when, Paul Dillette and Flex Wheeler and Levrone and all those guys were battling it out. So I would hear these names in the gyms. And I was working on a little gym up in Hollywood. It's a little boxing gym on Hawthorne there. Mm-hmm. And I was afraid to go to Gold's Fitness. I guess everybody kept telling me go to Gold's.
It's intimidating.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna get in shape for a year, then I'll join Gold's.
Yeah.
So after the military, it took me a year, got in shape, what I thought was in shape, went down to Gold's, and the first day I walked in, man, you know where the cardio room used to be in the middle, against that back wall, and it was just literally Flex Wheeler, Paul Dillette, Sean Ray, and the little Australian stallion. Lee Priest. Oh yeah. And they're all doing cardio, just at that little leisurely pace. And I was like, man, who are these guys? And I realized they're the same guys I was seeing in the magazines. And I'm already, in my 30s, so these guys are ahead of me by far. And so I just started reading up on those guys and just really getting excited. And that environment down there is just, even to this day, is just so motivating.
It is.
So I got into it just because I kind of just fell into the environment. I just kind of fell into it, and I've been in it ever since.
Those guys are all good guys.
Yeah.
People get intimidated by going into Gold's, even here in North Hollywood where I go. And I was in Venice for years. And they say, oh no, it's all bodybuilders, but it's really not.
No.
At all. It's everyday people in there working out. And what I found today is a lot of the younger generation in their 20s, which I'm really happy to see, are in there working out and they're in great shape.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a motivating environment, and you know what? Like you said, it's a mix of everybody.
Yeah.
There's Mrs. Smith who wants to lose 40 pounds, and then there's the guy who plays center for the Lakers. And and nobody intimidates anybody. It's a family. So we always say the only people that leave Gold's are people that die.
Yeah, it always has been a family, and it's nice to see that. I don't get down there as much as I used to because of the 405 traffic. It's a nightmare. Yeah. If any of you come out here and you want to go to Venice, and if you're in the valley, wherever you are, remember, it's 17 miles from my house, and it takes me an hour to get there, if I'm lucky. Maybe an hour and a half to get home.
They open at 4, so you can just get up.
Yeah, sure.
There's no traffic.
Sundays are good. Weekdays are miserable. But once you get down there, it's fun to hang out and work out, go to the firehouse, and to walk down to the sand. I mean, it's a whole different lifestyle.
It is. It's truly a lifestyle. That whole area down there really represents a lifestyle that goes back to Muscle Beach.
Yes.
Almost 100 years, 85 years. Yeah.
When I first came down here, I used to come down here in the 50s with my parents and stay in Santa Monica at the Kensington, which is right by Lowe's, where Lowe's Hotel is now, and you walk straight down to the sand from there. Was Muscle Beach with the wooden platform and Steve Reeves and all the guys working out. I was around 10 or 12 years old. I didn't know one from the other. My sister did because she was older and she hung out with all of them. But that's where it all began. That's actually Muscle Beach. And there's a sign that says Muscle Beach. Then they moved it to Venice, and that became Muscle Beach now. But the tradition's always been there, and it's, I don't know, it's just makes you want to work out just being down there.
It does. And if you don't feel like working out, once you get there, you feel like working out.
Yeah.
So it's family, it's history. I always talk about there's a lot of history walking around that gym.
Absolutely.
And knowledge.
Yeah.
It's one of the few places you can go, know nothing, and just by being a member, it's like going to college.
You can watch other people and you can learn from what they're doing.
Yeah.
Good and bad mistakes. You want to take the good ones, and the bad mistakes you learn not to do them. But they have plenty of machines to work with, lots of equipment, and they have 3 or 4 or 5 of everything.
Everything, different angles.
Different angles,
yeah.
So you never have to worry about waiting in line for something.
It's probably one of the most unique gyms, I think, in the country, as far as being able to really hit your body from different angles.
Yeah.
I've been to a lot of big gyms with a lot of equipment.
Yeah.
But there's stuff there that you don't see anywhere else.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist anymore.
It doesn't exist at all, no. Now, you were working out, and did you know anything about diet? Did you know anything about training and sets and reps and exercises, or you just kind of what?
I answered an ad in a newspaper. A guy named Steve Zim out in Culver City, owns a private gym out there, and it said no experience required to become a personal trainer.
Really?
So now I'm fresh out of the Marine Corps. I'm looking for a job, and I see this ad. I'm like, this is perfect. So I answered, and this guy, fairly knowledgeable, not a bodybuilder, but kind of more of your pure personal trainer.
Yes.
Like I said, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, who were just looking to lose some weight.
Right.
Not necessarily an extreme physique, but that's where I got my first chops, and then I went through ACE, and then I branched out on my own, and then I got to Golds. You got people like Charles Glass who'll put a bug in your ear every once in a while, and all those guys with a lot of experience. And over the years, I just you never stop learning in this business.
You never stop learning. You can see out the corner of your eye when somebody's doing something, right, especially with Glass and the guys he trains. And then you pick up a lot of information that's working for you, and then you see people throwing weights around and they're getting nothing out of it for years and years and years and years and years.
Exactly.
Doing all this cardio, not losing any weight because they're not watching what they eat. But you made a big transformation in your body.
Yeah. It's been, I think, 9 years since I was diagnosed with cancer. I went from that bodybuilder at Muscle Beach to 400 pounds.
I know.
And, I think, I say this all the time, and no matter what happens to your body, you can always get back to it. And it took me about 18 months to drop 180 pounds.
How did you get to 400?
After the chemotherapy, the drugs, inactivity. Mm-hmm. I mean, there were days where weeks, I just laid in bed.
Couldn't do anything.
And ate. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't just chemotherapy and drugs. It was depression, and I'm pissed off, and
the more you ate, and the heavier you got, the more depressed you got.
Exactly. The more I ate, and so nights where I would order 2 20-piece from Domino's chicken wings, like each one has 100 grams of fat, and eat them all. But training, so I gained the weight, and then I was sick. But there was, in the back of your mind is always, I want to get back. I want to get back. And so when the doctor said, hey, you're good to go, and Pro Fight Sports sponsored me. I got back into the gym. I went down to Golds, which is hard, being that out of shape to walk in there. Even though we say it's not intimidating, I think all of us have.
We all do.
Yeah, that thing in our mind. But man, it's been a really cool journey. I didn't lift like a bodybuilder this time. I did a lot of high reps, tear downs, drop downs, just a lot of training to fatigue. Mm-hmm. And I'm carrying more mass now than when I was competing.
Oh, you look great now.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
How did you switch your diet around at that time when you were that heavy?
I went back old school bodybuilding.
Okay.
Dropped the carbs, bought the protein up, kept the dietary fat moderate, and
stuck with it.
Yeah.
That's what it takes. A lot of the people that watch, they write in and ask, and there's a lot of guys your age, close to my age, that they want to get in shape and they let it go for years and they're not eating properly. And it's, I always thought that if you take, like if I'm going to eat dinner, my girlfriend will ask me on Tuesday, where do you want to eat Saturday night? Now this is typical of a woman because she wants to make a reservation. I don't know. I haven't even had dinner Tuesday yet, so I can't tell you, but I know that I want to eat clean.
Right.
So if we go to a steakhouse, that's fine. I'll get steak and I'll get asparagus and broccoli or whatever.
Exactly.
And then it comes, well, what about dessert? Okay, I'll share it with you, but I won't eat the whole one like I used to.
Yeah.
So you can get by on stuff like that. But if you plan each meal, if you sit down and you take each meal at a time and just eat well, high protein, low carb, and then the next one, you don't have to think about next day or next day or next day or plan the whole thing. Some people cook their meals all week long, which is fine because they work and they have to. But if you know what to do, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, and it's simple. It really is simple. It is simple. It's not rocket science. It's just a matter of, like you said, sticking to it.
And when you're laying in bed, and I had pneumonia, I had congestive heart failure in July, and I was in the hospital, and I said, I got to get back. I lost 30 pounds, and my son looked at me, he says, Dad, you don't look well at all. I've never seen you like this in my life. I said, I know. It says, it sucks. So I started thinking about coming back. I was like, the 197, I'm always 225, 220. And my jeans were falling off me. First time ever in my life. And so I gained a few pounds back, and then my kid says, you know what, you look good lean. I said, not this lean. No, you look good. I was like 205 then. But in your mind, you keep thinking, okay, you're working out your routines as you're getting well. I said, I'm going to get back. I'm going to do this for chest and back. And I'm going to do this for shoulders and arms. I'm going to change my diet to this and this, right?
Yeah, you start mapping it out.
You start mapping it out.
Yeah.
And it's funny how our brain works like that, because that's basically all we're thinking about at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. And, but that's where you need to be. And I always tell everybody, it's, a neurosurgeon doesn't become a neurosurgeon because they just decided one day to become a neurosurgeon.
Right.
They've got to learn the steps. They got to learn the processes. They got to learn the medicine. So this is a science.
Yes.
But it's a fun science because, first of all, there's nothing like learning that connectivity between your body and your muscles and that movement and thought body connection, and then the nutrition in order to fuel it properly. And once you start to learn all those nuances, you realize that you're practicing science.
You are practicing science, and your brain. I've said this a million times. Your brain tells your body what to do.
Exactly.
Look, and someone disputed me. If I go in the gym and I say I bench press 300 pounds a day, and tomorrow I can't do 250, it's not that my body failed me. My mind failed me, because I still can. It didn't change in 24 hours.
No.
But my laziness of my head wouldn't allow it to happen. Granted, you have pain. I went in and I picked up the 45-pound Olympic bar with no weights, which I used to use weights on. I went to curl yesterday and I said, oh man, I can hardly do this. My wrist hurt so bad that it just told me, like, put the weight down. You know, it wasn't that I was weak, but they made me weak because I hurt.
Well, you know what? It's every time, you know, when you listen to your body, and that's the other thing that we, you know, I used to push hard. You know, you end up tearing things and popping things. And now, what I've learned is, you know, if I knew then what I know now, I'd still be competing. You know, had I gotten sick. You know, we really pushed and sacrificed our bodies too much.
Yes,
and these guys coming up now, you see guys in the gym now with a 35-pounder, and it looks like they're dying. But what you don't realize is they're squeezing so hard. They're trying to get as much connectivity as possible and get as many fibers firing off.
Yeah.
And it's not about how much; it's how you lift.
Yeah, I think we have a little impatient cat walking around here.
Yeah.
35-pound. I used to do 65, and now I do 20s.
Yeah.
And I get the same feel from the 20s I did from the heavier weight, and I look at myself like, boy, am I a wimp. But it works.
It does, and it's not ruining your joints.
No, it's not. It just is what it is, and it works. And so you come to a point in life where you say, okay, enough of the ego thing. I don't have to go heavy. I'll go a little bit lighter and just do my reps.
Technique is everything, and you know, my nickname is Mr. Strict. You know, I try to do everything fairly strictly. Really squeeze, just connecting to your body. You know, that's one of the big things.
How many times a day do you eat now?
You know what? I don't count.
No, you just
no. You know what? I think after this long, you know, if I have to map it out for somebody, that's not a problem. But it's very intuitive. I just know in the morning I have to eat.
Right.
There's no question about that. Before I go to bed, I'm gonna have a protein shake.
Yes.
You know, end of story. So,
I take it with fiber.
Exactly. So in between, I just know that I need to get X amount of protein in.
Yeah.
You know, X amount of carbs.
Yeah.
It's a certain time. I know if I'm going to work out, that means I'm eating at this time. If I'm working out at this time, so it's just mapped out. It's thought free. When you shop, you automatically you're buying your meals automatic now.
Yeah, it's funny because I will go out on the weekends and I'll have a burger. So I'll have a nice big hamburger. So it's got a good 8-ounce patty or bigger of meat. I figure, okay, there's protein. It's got lettuce and tomato. There's veggies. It has a little mayonnaise. So what? I don't care. The bread is about 7 grams of carb. I don't eat all the bread anyway. But to offset that, I always have a scoop of cottage cheese.
Yeah.
And I bring cottage cheese up a lot. And people say, oh, you keep bringing that up. That's what we ate back in the day. It's full of
dietary fat and protein.
Right. Yeah. It works fine, and it kind of offsets everything else. I'd rather have that than coleslaw or French fries. I won't eat the French fries. It doesn't even appeal to me. But this is how we live our life, and this is why you stay in shape and you rebound from being sick as well.
Exactly.
Because you know how to eat, and nutrition's key. And you don't want to starve your body. You want to feed it so that it can rehab perfectly.
Yeah, and you know, they're very simple rules. If you're looking to drop body fat or to get leaner, there's a scaffolding that you build around. If you're looking to gain muscle, there's another scaffolding that you buy around. So it's really about the physique that you want.
Right.
And then once you get there, then it becomes maintenance.
Yeah.
You know, and really you need to learn some things. It's not just something that you're gonna. When you hire a personal trainer, it shouldn't be just somebody that's counting reps.
Yeah.
You should be signing up for a program.
Well, counting reps and talking on their cell phone.
Exactly.
There's so much of that. And the thing is that if you take weightlifting on for years, I mean, I worked at a lot of gyms, and you can use weightlifting to lose weight or you can use it to gain weight. It does one or the other, depending on how you treat it and how you eat with it.
Yeah, how you eat, yeah.
It's the whole key, you know. So what's your plans now? What are you doing with yourself?
Well, right now we're getting ready to compete at Muscle Beach, July 4th. That was the last show I did before I was diagnosed with cancer.
Okay, so you're going to compete.
So I'm going to compete.
Oh wow, that's great.
So I'm going to do Muscle Beach because it's kind of a sentimental thing. At the same time, I'm raising cancer for the Johnson Comprehensive Cancer Center at UCLA. So we're selling these cheese shirts, as a matter of fact. So right now, what I'm kind of wrapping my story up and how it's kind of it's still playing out. All of those things are still kind of playing out. So, but I'm wrapping that story up in a way that I try to share it with people to help motivate. I do a lot of videos. I write a lot. I try to go beyond, like I said, counting reps with my clients.
Yeah.
I really like a holistic approach to health and fitness. So I talk about nutrition, attitude, lifestyle. Not just what you do in the gym, but what happens outside of the gym.
That's the biggest part. It's your homework.
So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to just kind of be that beacon. I think congenital heart failure, that's almost dying.
Well, they told me
You
that.
know,
They said, if you
so-
go home from the hospital today, you'll die tomorrow. I said, no, I won't.
Right.
And my girlfriend got really shocked. Oh my God, are you serious? He said, I'm serious. You're not healthy. I felt okay. I didn't feel great, but I didn't know it was that bad. But they pulled 3 liters of fluid and blood out of my lungs.
Exactly.
So I said, that's pretty bad. You never want to think of yourself being in that position.
No, you don't. And here's the thing that scared me the most. Being in a position where you've got something that's growing inside of you that could potentially kill you, you don't even feel it.
No.
So a lot of our bad habits translate into things that kill us slowly over time.
Yeah.
And once you realize that, and you realize that, you know what, I can fix this with nutrition and exercise, why wouldn't you?
That's the way I think.
Why wouldn't you? And if you know that you can come back from something because of nutrition and exercise, why wouldn't you? I think we all want to be around.
Well, too many people give up. I have old friends. I was on the phone with one today. He's given up. He just doesn't try to even do anything. You know, he doesn't want to, and he's lazy and doesn't care. Well, that's small town mentality from where I'm from. So they're happy just to wake up and sit in the house all day and watch TV and not join the gym and not exercise. And you know, I mean, I've tried to talk so many times into these people that brainwash them, but they don't listen. Good for you. You're doing great. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, I'm having a good time, and it's good to finally meet you too.
Yeah.
Because again, I got into the world of competitive fitness late. I didn't know who all the greats were, and but I remember your commercials as a kid. And when I saw the clip, I was like, oh my goodness, I used to love those because I thought the bodybuilders like the coolest people on the planet.
You know, we would get phone calls. There was a payphone in the gym. I tell this story down in Gold's and it was on Pacific, the original gym. It was a payphone. Every once in a while, a ring. And Zabel Kazuski was managing the gym. And Zabel would always be in the barber chair that Joe got him, sound asleep with dark glasses on, or doing crosswords. Zabel, those phone's ringing. That's all right, they'll call back. He'd never answer it, you know? So I'd answer it. And they'd say, we need some bodybuilders for Johnny Carson's show or Flip Wilson's show. Can you send some guys down? So I ran up a group and we go down and we get the part every time. Because there weren't any bodybuilders. There were maybe a dozen good ones.
Right.
So every time we go down to NBC or CBS or one of those things, we get hired on the spot. We go back, do 2 or 3 days work for $800 a day and residuals, and it was good money. In fact, I made enough overtime that in 2001, I took my SAG retirement, my pension, and all my insurance for the rest of my life. So it paid off.
Yeah, I wish I would have been there.
I didn't know I had worked that much, but apparently I did. I've done things I've forgotten, actually. I have pictures of everything, but some of the stuff I just forget about it. But bodybuilding back then, you know, they cast you as a bodybuilder and you weren't really supposed to be smart. And then it changed when Arnold started getting roles. You know, but it was a fun way of life. And people say, how did bodybuilders make money living at the beach? They worked as bouncers, they worked in gyms, they got any kind of job they could do where they could still train. But studio work as electricians and you know, like gaffers and whatnot, that was pretty easy to get a job, but you worked long hours.
Yeah.
You had to fit your workouts in and say, oh man, I can't get to the gym, what am I going to do? I got to quit the job. That was the mentality.
Yeah, the beach life, and yeah, it's still kind of that way today.
Yeah,
Except they're driving nicer cars.
Yeah, I can never figure that out. We just talked about this. I'm okay financially, and I do well at my age, and I want to buy a new car because I had an accident in my Mercedes, and it's going to cost to fix it, but they're probably going to total it. So I look at a new car. I was telling you, I look at this Genesis, which I think is a beautiful car, and you can lease it for under $300 a month, which is fine. And they say, okay, then your insurance is $200 a month. I thought, what? I'm paying $600 a year. Why would I pay $200 a month? That's the name of the game. So I see these guys driving cars and they're working out at the gym all day. How in the world are they for those things?
I don't know. I saw a couple of the new guys pull in the other day, man, in their $60,000 cars.
I know.
But you know what? Flexing those guys used to do it too.
I know.
So it's kind of a bodybuilder thing, and
then they live in a shack.
Yeah, but they have the car.
They have the car.
It's good for video.
You can run one for the day for that.
Exactly.
So if people want to reach you on the internet, where's the best way?
You know what? The best place to find us is at True Image Activewear on Facebook. And you can, you know, if you want, you guys can go to trueimageactivewear.com and click on Raise the Bar. You can get an awesome t-shirt like this and help the Janser Comprehensive Cancer Center raise money for cancer research.
That's a great idea. We're going to take a break for 1 minute. I'll be right back. I just want to remind all of you, yes, you can still order the Gold's Gym logo, the one I designed in 1973. That was the largest selling t-shirt logo in the world. It's a piece of art history. I drew it, and now I can draw it for you on an 8x10 paper. I will autograph it to you and sign it, put your name on it. Each one is hand-drawn separately for you. They're not prints or reproductions. Each one is different because every time you draw something, it comes out a little bit different, but it's the Gold's Gym logo. And so if you would like to order it, you can get it off my website, rickdrasin.com, order it through PayPal. If you go to my website and scroll down, you'll see the order button. Go ahead and order. I'll make it out and I'll send it right out to you. You can frame it, put it on your wall in your house, in your gym, or your garage, wherever you want. But it's a one of a kind, and it will go down in history as the largest logo in the world. Thank you. Now back to the show. Okay, we're back, and I just wanted to thank Vance for being here because it's an interesting man. I never got a chance to really sit and talk to him and all of his knowledge and what he's doing for cancer and all that, which is a wonderful thing. And I'm really anxious to see you compete in July. I'm going to come down and cheer you on.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a comeback. I'm dedicating the show to my father. He passed away this time last year.
Yeah.
And I didn't get to compete in last season. I just wasn't quite there, so I had some health issues. So this is a comeback. I'm looking forward to seeing Joe Wheatley, who's taking the reins of Muscle Beach.
He's done very well with that.
Done an amazing job. Just an amazing guy. And, Guy Grundy's going to be there.
Yeah.
Just a lot of the, there's a lot of living legends around me.
All hanging around there. Yeah.
And it's just a lot of fun to be a part of the community and to see that really something that started in Santa Monica has just really, it's gone around the world. Fitness is...
You know who I'm going to miss down there? Bill Pettis.
Yeah.
He was a staple of Venice Beach, and I knew him well, and he passed away just this past year, unfortunately. And he was just, the guy had a memory like an elephant. He never forgot anything.
Never.
His speech was great. I talked to him, and I always give him a few bucks because he never had any money. But it's sad because he was a part of Venice Beach. He was the guy down there.
A living icon. And if you ever see any pictures of him, you'll know who the guy is.
I'll post him. Huge arms.
Yes, huge arms. And would pose with the picture for you in a heartbeat.
No question about it. Yeah.
If you recognize him and ask for a picture,
he had one tooth left. Right in front, stuck straight out. All right, Vance, thank you for being here, and we're going to do more as time goes on, and I'll put up where they can reach you, and maybe it'll help you get more business.
All right. Thanks a lot, man. It was a pleasure.
My pleasure. See you guys next time on Rick's Corner, and I'll have more guests back. We'll have Vance back again. Be sure and contact him if you need him. He's a wonderful man. I was really happy to have him. I'm very lucky to have his friendship here today. Made me feel really good.
It's rickdrasin.com. He is the equalizer, baby. See you next time.